Well, I'm back for another episode with you lovely people. So what's been happening with the bike? Well, not a lot. I've been waiting on parts, and I have some parts coming from China, and I had contacted a guy in Sri Lanka who had the parts that I needed, the forks and the cover for this, but he hasn't got back to me, and I'm starting to get worried now that I'm not going to get the parts that I had found, which is a pity. Hopefully he'll get back to me, but in the meantime these turned up. I bought these about a month ago, and these are the forks of a Honda cb125 TD E model. Now these would do just fine. I mean, they look great, they are in great shape, and they're the correct size, they're the correct height, everything. They're identical in dimensions, except that the brake is on the left hand side of the bike and it should be on the right. So that's the only thing that's annoying me about it. So I'm definitely not going to be using these unless I really have to. You'll see they're pretty good, like they're in very good condition, and if I do get the proper forks for the bike, I will be selling these. So anybody that wants a set of forks for one of them bikes, I will be selling these if I do get the right ones for this bike. So you can ask me about them. What have I been doing? Right, today the first kind of bits turned up for me to start doing anything again, and that was, just give me a second, the shed's just getting so full of stuff. I really have to take a day and just clean it all out and put everything away tidy. And I mean, you can just do nothing in here now, it's just piled up stuff. And I just haven't had the time to get at it. I've been busy. I had COVID, I wasn't able to go out to the shed, I wasn't in good shape, and so I didn't get to do a lot the last week or so with it. I meant to clean it out last weekend. Where are them bits now? And I put them somewhere deliberately where I knew I'd get them. Give me a second. Okay, just give me a second while I rummage through this heap and see what I can find. Sitting in the box. This is the box that I put all of the stuff to do with this bike in, and here they are. So this is what came today, and I had looked around for a set of these. These are for removing guide valves, and they're the exact dimensions of the inside of the guide valve and the outside, the same size as the outside of the guide valve. And the idea is that this goes into the guide valve, and when you hit it with the hammer, it won't disintegrate, it'll come out in one piece. So I couldn't wait earlier when I got this to get at the bike again, so I went in and I just took it out. As simple as that. I just I'll show you, just for anyone that's never seen one of these tools. Give me a second and I put this phone down somewhere. I really have to get a way of videoing this better for you. You'll be pleased to know that I do have a work light on here though. So that's a bonus. Just let me get this straight. I don't think it's going to stay there, but I'll try. So there's two different sizes in this, and they're all for like Hondas. And this is the one that I was using, this one here, you see. And I'll just take the new valve, which is very tight by the way in this. It would not have worked. I've actually ordered another valve because I'm not very happy with that one. So this is the guide valve that I took out of it, and all you do is you take that, you put it into there, give it a good whack with the hammer on the top here, preferably not a steel hammer, a mallet or something like that, but and it just popped right out, so it did. So I was happy enough. And this little washer was sitting on top of it. There was a seal then, you see, and that all sat into the shoulder of the thing like that. And this is your valve seal here. So I got that done. You can see the break, the crack in this here, just broke off there. So that's what would have happened if I had left that in the bike, and we'd have been into another dilemma. So look, took another lump out of it. Just that simple. It's just disintegrating. So I couldn't have used it. Needed to get another one. And by goodness is that valve tighten it. So I know what I ended up having to do something with that too, to hone it out or something. So that's that. What's the job tonight? Well, I was complaining about maybe not having enough clearance for the piston, and maybe that's why it managed to clip the inlet valve. So I'm thinking tonight I'm going to try and make a bit of clearance. I'm going to get another gasket, an old gasket or something, and try and heighten this up just a tiny bit. And I may take the Dremel and a bit of a sander and try and cut a bit of a groove into the piston to give me more relief, and hope that that works. It's the last time I'll be trying anything with this barrel. If it doesn't work this time, I'm going to just go and buy the proper barrel, even though it's nearly €200 by the time you get it posted here and everything, because most of them's in America. I'm not going to spend too long out here because it's Ireland, and this is, believe it or not, very cold here tonight. Yeah, Ireland's a bit of an odd place. The cold isn't the same cold as you get in America and places like Poland and Russia and that. It's a lot damper, it's a lot wetter, and the cold gets right into your bones here. And even the Polish people who I know here and that talk about how cold, how bitterly cold it is, and how it just gets right into your body. So I'm not going to make myself sick again by being out here for too long. Anyway, let's get to work. So I'm going to take off this head. I had it off earlier on, just to take that piece out. Make sure everything's loosened up. I'm hoping the next video I make is you're not going to be looking at the mess of this bench. Just give me a second, try and pull this off. By the way, that's another set of forks there of a CG or cb125S actually. Anyone wants them, I'm selling them as well. I don't have a use for them. They're 27mm. The ones I need are 31, but they're not that bad. Tiny bit of pitting here and there, but definitely not that bad. So they're there. You can ask me about them. Take this off, set it there. Now there's where I removed the valve guide from. You can see, and the little fine washer would have sat on top of that in there, and then the seal on top of it. So that's just to let you know. Not quite sure what that is. I've never seen that before. Hopefully doesn't fall out, lose it. Right, take this head off. Oh, hold on, I have to take a few bolts out first. Forgot about that. So take these, that's your chain tensioner. And there's always this one, and it's the one that lots of people forget about. You have to put this in before you put your cam in, or you're going to end up pulling the whole thing apart just to put it in again. So you don't want that. So pulling the head off now. And in my wisdom earlier on, I dropped the chain. So that's going to be a bit of a handling to get out of there. This is the other side of the valve guide whenever I took that piece out, and I'm hoping you can just see there where it is. That's not a chip, it hasn't knocked the chip out, it's just marred it a bit when the valve hit it. So I'm hoping that I've just got away with that, and that this is the grind here for the valve, and it'll not it'll seat properly and seal it. I'm hoping so. If not, I'm in big trouble, and I think I'll probably be making decisions that I've put in enough money into this bike, and it's not really worth it. So we'll just have to hope it works out, because it's only worth so much, and when you spend over the price that it's worth to fix it up, it's not really very viable, is it? So that's that. Now here's our piston, and as you can see, this is where the valve hit it here, but you'll see these recesses and the word in, which means inlet valve. So I know I have the piston the right way around in this. There doesn't seem to be a difference in the depth of the clearance anyway. So my plan is I'm going to get my little Dremel and a bit of a sanding pad, and I'm going to try and bring this down just a little bit to see if I can give myself any more clearance. Also, I'm going to put another gasket in under here, and I did already put another gasket in under here to give extra clearance to the top. I think the problem is that this is a domed piston, and the reason that they dome them is to give it more compression, to give it a little more oomph. But with this bike it gave it a little more dumph. So I'm going to have to try and do something to stop that from happening again. I'm not sure if the keeper came out of the I'm not sure if the keeper came out of the valve and it just loosened up and got in there, or if this actually came up and clipped it and knocked it out of the position where it was. I find it very hard to tell what happened here. So, but I assume that because Musty One was having clearance issues when he was working on it with this new head, there was a tiny difference in the height of the barrel. I assume that that's what happened. I assume the piston came up and hit the valve. So I don't know, and I may not have had my valve clearances right anyway. I never checked them before I went to start the bike. I just got too excited and I was a bit of an idiot and didn't check them. So it could all be my own doing, my own fault, but either ways I want to get it all sorted out, so we're going to try. So I think the first job tonight is going to be sand a wee bit out of this, so we're going to try and do that without getting flakes of stuff all over the engine and into the engine. So give me a wee minute till I set up and we'll start. Well, that's better. I got you a little spot so you can see what I'm at. This might work, might not. Never done it before, but seen Musty One do it and it gave him a little bit of clearance at least, so I'm going to give it a shot. And this thing always wants to stop whenever you don't have enough battery. Need to get in on it from this side. Sorry getting your way there. Don't have enough battery in this thing. It's just not going to play ball with me tonight, this machine. I know, I should be wearing eye protection. Any of them little flakes gets in your eyes, you're in a bit of trouble, but I don't have any, so you can eat me later on when the video's up. It's just not going to play ball with me. I'll be back to you in a few minutes whenever I get a bit of charge into this, and we'll see how we're getting on then. So while I was waiting on this battery to charge, I decided I'd go ahead and try and get me another gasket. So I pulled the barrel off again, and I realised that this gasket is too small. It's been gone over the seal. I'll switch on the light. It's been gone over the seal and covering it, so it hasn't been doing its job right. And I had two on it. Here's the other one, and you can see what I'm going to do here. I had two spare gaskets over here, but they're both the wrong ones. They're both from the top end of the barrel, which is no good to me, and they're the only ones I have. So I'm going to improvise here. It's not going to be a very thick one, but I do have an old gasket from this City Express, and I'm going to draw it out, and I'm going to cut it out here out of this, and hopefully that'll do. I can't get two out of it, I can only get one, so we'll just have to see how we get on with it. So I'll be with you in a second whenever I cut this all out. Well, what was 2 minutes for yous was like 20 minutes for me. I never realised it'd be as hard to cut one of them out, but I have one cut now, and it seems to fit pretty good, and it is clearing the oil hole there, as you can see. Sits perfectly on it, so it should work, and I have two on this. So I'm hoping that's going to give me enough clearance, but it's not a very thick gasket, so it might just do nothing for me, but it's worth a try. So that's what I'm going to try. But first of all, I'm going to try and fix this one, because it's just a little bit, you take a little bit off it. It's just, you can see how it's sitting on the oil ring there. It's not very good. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'll be back with you in a second. Well, the scissors were a much easier job this time, so now I've got plenty of space, lines up pretty good, and we're ready to bang this all together again. So I'll see if I can set you up here and let you watch me do that. Yeah, that might work. Okay, so this is just a bit, one of these posts is just a little bit bent from a friend dropping it, as I told you before. That's going on wrong. That should be like this. I don't know how much you can see there, I haven't really been looking. let's just hope that this works for us and we get a little bit of clearance up at the top. That's the master plan anyway. Don't know what the chances are of it being right or wrong. It's just a little bit tight around the hole there. I might need to get the knife out and just give it a little bit of a trim. I had to take the blade out of my knife. My knife's as blunt as anything. So then I went into the house to find another one. The amount of running and racing you do when you're doing these jobs. So I'll just go round that quickly. A nice sharp knife. Trim it off. So hopefully I don't get these bits into the engine. Didn't just get that right there. Yeah, it's gone. Yeah, more pieces. Anything to just make it better, not stick up. Can't really see what I'm doing. I hate this shed. I hate the light that I have in this shed. I can't wait till I get this work light that I've been going on about, and it'll help me. That is tough stuff, I can tell you. There, got that. I think the rest of it is okay. It's sitting down fine. So we'll give this another go. That way. Straight down. Oh yeah, that's better. That's better. Have another one now. As you can see. So I've got 3 altogether and they're very thin. That's why I'm using 3. Because I already had put 2 down and I didn't think I was getting enough clearance, and that's probably what caused half my problem. So just after realizing I didn't cut a hole in the one that I was making there for 1 bolt. So I'm gonna have to pull it off again now and cut a hole into that. Oh, woe is me. You think you have it all sorted. That's unbelievable to get off now without ripping it. You don't want to rip it. If you rip it, well, it ain't no good. There, I got that one anyway. This is an even thinner one. It's just like a piece of paper. It's not even like cardboard at all. It's like paper. Paper thin. So that's 2. And here's the one I need to cut a hole into. Maybe I'll just run my finger around that. Give me a mark for it. This is the bolt that's meant to go into it. So that's giving me an idea. And just when I thought I had it all sorted out and ready to go, I'll tell you what, it's well stuck down here too, on that edge. Maybe I'll just have to try and punch this out where it is somehow. I don't want to end up destroying that. Spent long enough making it. Well, If the guide pin wants to come, I'll take that any day. That'll do. Hey, success. Right, get this cut out of this. If only life was more simple. What are you seeing there anyway? Oh, you're seeing all stuff alright. If you're seeing anything in this shed, you're doing alright. Believe me. It's a bit of a hobble. I'm not complaining. There's lots of people my age that don't even have a mortgage and they can't get one in this country. So I'll take what I've got and be happy with it. Would be nice to have a bigger shed though. Space to work. Especially for later on in years, whenever I start to retire and I want to do things to do, and I'll probably buy a few more bikes then and do them, you know. Why not? The vintage bikes will be all electric bikes then. I'll have to learn all about them. Won't know anything about them either. So it's constant fun. It's a constant learning process, isn't it? Right, let's try this. Gonna start stripping down that little City Express bike that I posted up there during the week. Gonna paint it now. The weather's not been too bad in Ireland here. It's been quite mild. Bar being cold, you know. It's not been raining. It's not been very damp. Damp's the enemy when you're painting. You don't want to paint when it's damp. Now I'll just check that I'm getting a decent supply of oil through that gasket that I made there. Yeah, I should do. Don't think there's anything there that's going to block it up. Looks good. Yeah, looks good. Right, I'll put these other two gaskets back down now. Hopefully, by the time I've this all done here, I'll have a little bit of charge on my Dremel machine and I can try and take a little bit more off that. Maybe I'll just do that now. I'll tie this blanket around it. Stop all the stuff from getting into my engine. Just get it down there and wrap it around good and tight. I think it's the only option. That's what I'll do. And we'll see how our battery's getting on now. Battery on my phone mightn't be doing too well either, now I think of it. Right, I'll be back to you in a minute because this video's gone on just a little bit too long. Oops, I'll be back in a second. Right, I'm back and we're going to see what sort of power we have in this. Yeah, still not a lot of power left. Still might be enough to give me the clearance I need. So we're getting just a little bit. I don't know how much we're getting, but we're getting a bit. Hopefully it's enough to give me a bit of clearance. I know it doesn't look too tidy, but at least it's giving me what I need. So I've got a little bit there. Well, I don't know what good that's going to do me, but it's definitely got me something. As I said, I'm only trying this out. If it doesn't work this time, I may think of buying an original barrel, but they're pricey. Pricey stuff. So I'll give this a wipe down. Don't know if you can see that, but it's gone right into the circular piece there. It's cleared that a bit, so I don't know. Might do nothing. It's worth a try though. It may not have even been a clearance problem in the first place, although I feel that it was because I didn't set my valve clearances, so would be fairly obvious to me that that's what it was, to be honest, if I was to be honest about it. You never know. You never know. And my chain again. I'll have to find that. Ooh, don't fall down on me, please. I got you. Yeah. Worst part about any of these jobs, and look at this, my chain guide tensioner is covered in nearly got that into the engine. A couple of filings there. Good job I spotted that. So I've everything wiped off. Yeah, it's clean. So put our barrel on, see how we get on. There we go. And my gasket's just ripped. It's only ripped on the... oh, it's ripped right through. It's no good to me. Maybe I'll just take a chance with it anyway. Just show you. It's just ripped there. The whole reason I took it apart tonight to do was to put an extra gasket in, and no, I haven't managed to do that because this has just become ripped. So that's a bit disappointing. I'll just have to hope that I can do without that one. The other one's a bit thicker than this one was anyway. Right, it's no good, I'm going to have to pull it off. No good. Hopefully the other two are okay. They'll do. Right, we'll try and not rip another one. need to get my chain up here. I need to get my guide up here. Why have they got to make these things so difficult? The chain keeps catching the gasket. Right. I think we're in good enough shape now to get the piston in where it belongs. And that can be a bit of an annoyance. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Right. And the wind is howling outside here. Just howling outside. Hooey. Right, what's next? Yeah, I need this back in. And I appear to have lost one of the seals that I had in there. I don't know where it's gone. But I'm going to be needing it. Guess I'll have to look for another one. I wasn't very sure if it was doing the job properly anyway. Oh yes. It's here, but I had to knock my phone over, of course, to get it. Which wouldn't be the usual thing to happen, would it? Hold on, let's see where I can get this set up. Oh, I'm fed up with this phone. I need to get a camera. Yeah, that might do yous. It'll stay there. What have I got? Good, but very thin. Very thin. Is it too big? No, it's just about the right size, but still very thin. I know when the gasket goes on top of it, it's going to want to sit proud of it. So, what else can you do? Now I have to find the original gasket I had on it, because I've got like 3 of them gaskets. And I like the one that was on it because it's got a good seal around the top. Ah, there you are, my beauty. Give it a little clean off. Yeah. Put my chain up through. There we go. And that seal is definitely sitting proud of it this time. Definitely so. What good it's gonna be, I don't know. Guess I'll grab my head and put it on. Hopefully I don't knock you over in the process. I'm only going to piece it together for the night because I still have to put a valve guide into it. By the way, if any of you think that I'm doing something wrong here, and you know stuff about bikes, don't be afraid to tell me. Because I'm only learning. I don't know as much as some of you more experienced people. And good advice is always appreciated. On my channel anyway. Wouldn't be too fond of the nastier comments, of course, and believe me, you do get them too. There's always someone who's willing to slate you for doing stuff wrong when you don't really know. You're not really confident. Yeah. But I don't pass many remarks on people like that. Tell them where to go. Usually that would just slide in easily, and it's just not doing that today. Oh. Yeah. I have to give it a little push. Set my screwdriver up here to keep my chain in the right spot. That, for some reason, does not want to. Yeah, that's better. Come on. Go on, you know you want to. That's it. Well, was it a waste of time what I done tonight? Who knows? Anyway, it's an enjoyable thing, wasting your time on these things. It's even more enjoyable when you haven't wasted your time and it actually works. I'm calm. I'm not even going to worry about timing tonight. I'm just going to try and get everything pieced back together for now. Just so that I can sleep, maybe, knowing that it's alright. Wow, that's pretty tight there, that chain. Don't know what's going on with that. Shouldn't be like that. Shouldn't be that tight. It's got a little bit wrapped around the wrong thing there. Always does that. It's done that on me before. There's a little plastic thing that sticks out and it gets stuck on it. And you have to try and pull it round it. Get it to the other side. Now I have no light. I have nothing to hold my light. Remember the last time this happened, I had to get a friend to hold my light for me while I got it out. Bit of a nightmare. So difficult to see what I'm at. Yeah, it's got twisted up down there. This might take a few minutes feeling around. Try and get it out of there. It's not going to come out without a fight anyway. Might work if I just slacken it off like that. Slide it over. The fact is, it's wrapped around the cog as well, you see. No chance. Looks like I'm going to have to take off the head again to get this dose of a thing out. Oh well, whatever you gotta do, right? Yeah. Well stuck down there. I did not want to have to take this off the gasket again. Man's got to do what a man's got to do. Yep, of course. Well stuck down there too. Oh, this is just impossible without a light. So annoying. He's getting there. Not there yet though. Come out. Come out. Don't want to bend the cam chain either. Oh, this is such a mess. Just not going to work. Gonna have to lift the barrel off again. Try and do this. Oh no, the chains just fell down. Kind of what I figured would happen. Why would things go our way, huh? Wouldn't be any fun if everything went our way, would it? Oh, that is so wrapped up. I have an idea though. God, it's so hard when you can't have a light and you can't see. Nobody to hold the bloody light. Oh, and then the keeper, the other tensioner keeps getting in the way then as well. It's not helping me. Not helping me. Sod's law. I cannot get that there. Right, I'm gonna have to do something here to get that tensioner at least held back. Some way. Right, that's a help. Now I'm just going to take the barrel off. Did not want to do that, but I'm just going to have to do it. Just in case you can't figure out what's going on here. You can see down in there that this is stuck in around that black thing. It's meant to be on the other side of it, and it's on the cog, so it can't get it to come out. So I have to loosen it back somehow, and it's just a bit of a pain in the ass, you know what I mean? It's just to show you what's going on there. Sitting there watching a screen and a man shouting at himself. Let's see if we can get it out of there. Well, I've got movement in my chain. Come on. Come on. Yes. Finally. If only you knew my frustrations. It shouldn't be this difficult. It should just, everything should just work out the way it's supposed to. Nothing needs to be this difficult. See if I can get us back online now. Well, that's a good start. And I've lost the black seal yet again. Again. Cannot believe that. Oh, it's a bad omen. Ah, I found it. I got it. There we go. Right, I'll stick my guide in when I'm this down where it needs to be. This is the part I hate. Because I don't want to damage anything. Rings and stuff like that. It's going down. And then you know what? Yeah, that's it. We're down. Still having to hold this chain. Still looking for me guide pin. That's that in. And I'll stick my 2 seals over the top. Whatever addition there might be, if any. Might be no good to anyone. Well, the green ones decided to disintegrate. That's going to be, he's still pretty springy. Might be okay. I've got the black one still anyway, and it's in good enough condition. So, I have to hope. I mean, I've seen the XL 125 head or barrels, and they don't even have that seal. They have nothing. So, I assume that you're able to just use a gasket, and that's just a precautionary measure. But I didn't want to put it together with nothing on it at all. Right, let's try this again. Yeah, I've got that in now. Stick my screwdriver through that. Make sure that's going nowhere. Try and find me tensioner again. Cannot understand that. Why it's just that little bit off the whole time. There we go. Yeah, now I have it. We're nearly done for the night, guys. I'm not intending on doing much more. Although, to be honest, I think I'd like to get more out of that piston. See if I can give myself any more clearance. Not be the night though. Just wanted to satisfy a bit of an itch. I like to be doing something all the time, you know, on it. Feeling that I'm making progress. It's very hard to make progress when it takes months for parts to turn up here though. It can be rather annoying. the length of time it takes parts to get here, and the price of them. The price of them here is horrible at the minute. Everything I go to buy is like double the price what it used to be. Double. That chain's still very tight. I don't really mind it being tight, I just want to be able to put the thing down, you know. I want to hold my chain in place. Ah, there we go, that might let me away tonight. Just want to piece it together is all. Of course, the camera's other ideas. Wonder if I just pull my tensioner out, will it allow the... Oh, obviously not. Look, it's enough to do the night. Just want to get all the pieces in that I'm not going to lose anything. That is unbelievable. I'll have to pull it up over the cam then. Let it sit on the outside of it. That's what I'll do. That'll let me away. Oh, guys, the mess of this bench is just ridiculous. I'm going to have to do something. Although I did manage to sort out the mess that was my yard there during the week. So I'm kind of happy about that. Doesn't look like a green mess anymore. Do these things one at a time. My problem is every spare minute I get, I'd rather be working on this. And nothing gets done. Bar this. I mean, you can get disheartened when things are not going your way. And this particular bike's been fighting me all the way from day one. Just fighting me all the way. I'm doing everything I can. I'm a bit disappointed your guy didn't get back to me about the parts though. Because he was the only guy that I could find anywhere in months of owning this bike. Matter of fact, of this bike a good while now, of it nearly a year, I've been searching for parts. I thought my dreams had came true when he came along, said he had them and showed me them. I was going to send them, but he stopped answering messages. Hopefully he'll get back to me. Say he will. Just don't want to lose this. It's got the weight. Oops, dropped it. Have it. Just don't want to lose the wee washer. There's a wee washer there, do you see that? And a seal down below that. I don't want to lose it, so I'm just going to stick it up into the engine. And you were sitting there looking at the floor nearly the whole time when you should have been looking up here. Anyway, that's what I done. I just stuck it in there for now. I won't lose it. I don't know. I reckon a good shed clean out's an option for this weekend. What do you reckon? Get the place back into some sort of order. I was thinking of getting another shed, but I don't have a lot of room in my yard. I'll take my phone out here, see if I can see anything outside to show you what I mean. Let's see, this is my yard here. That's my little shed that I'm working in. But I have this oil tank beside this and a gate. I was thinking of moving the oil tank back to that wall and getting another shed here so I could work out of it. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I just need a bit more space, even if it was just for storing the tools in one shed and having the bikes in here. It'd be a help, wouldn't it? Because it's just too tight in here, there's just too much stuff. And it's not rubbish, not a lot of the stuff is rubbish, like. I just have it all over the place at the minute. Yeah, so I think that's it, guys. I think that's us done for the night. Still, nice to chat to you. Well, just before I left the shed, I looked at this piece and I said, ooh, I wonder what it'd be like if I cleaned it up. So I got the rattle cans out, and that's what I've done. Can see a bit of orange peel in it, but I'll give that a sanding down tomorrow and give it another run and it'll be a bit smoother looking. And it's a matte black, so it'll dry sort of like this clock was. I done this clock, so I did, and the back of the light and all of that. So I said I may as well finish it off. That's the front piece that goes on it. So that's it for the night, guys.